saving your time or is it more consuming?
You spend a lot of time using it and it's not helping you achieve your goals. Hello and welcome to our podcast. This is Digital Pragmatism with Gosia and Jerzy.
Hello.
And we're gonna talk today about how to use technology to your advantage. Do you think, Gosia, that we can use technology to our advantage in 2023?
Yes, I'm convinced that we can use it to our advantage.
You are convinced, so it's a belief? Or have you tested it?
I tested it, for example, with our family CRM. So it's very useful. It facilitates your daily life.
But can you explain a little bit how you use this CRM to people?
It's a kind of database for us, shared database.
Yeah.
So we have information about our health, our finances, everything, education.
And the contacts to every person we meet or we interact with. Yeah, so we use a CRM, hint. There is an episode of the podcast which is dedicated just to the CRM.
And also we have a task list.
Yeah.
And also, calendar, obviously.
Okay, so you will talk about which tools you use and which are convenient and which are not, but let's start by stating something about how to make the decision to use technology in an intentional way or in such a way that it is used to your advantage. Let's assume that you are heavily using technology and you are not thinking about it a lot. What should a person do in order to start using technology more intentionally and to her or his advantage?
So I can say that I was just thinking what are my feelings, for example, emotions after using technology.
Okay.
If I really need something.
Okay, so if you use... No, it's okay. If you use a piece of technology and you feel bad after using it, it's basically a no-go for you.
Yes, so everything that I could read on the website of Center for Human Technology, they are giving some advice.
Okay, so they are giving some advice how to proceed. Can you share it? What is the due diligence process for using technology to your advantage? Think about how you feel after using technology. This is very good.
How
what
much
else?
Time you spend? Is it saving your time or is it more consuming?
Yeah, this is a good advice because a lot of tech today actually is made in such a way that you spend a lot of time using it and not to... and it's not helping you achieve your goals.
What are your values? What is the most important for you in your life? For example, if it is your family or free time or work. So how you can use technology to reinforce
my values and my goals.
Yes.
Okay. This is good advice also. Would you suggest to just make what I did? So ditch every technology you use and see whether you miss it or not?
Yes, whether it contributes to your life or not.
So if I stopped using a smartphone and I feel a big amount of discomfort because I don't use Google Maps, is it enough to start using Google Maps again?
It depends.
Are you a lawyer, Gosia? So basically, what I did when I started to working on how I use my tech, my day-to-day tech, was to ditch the tech, obviously. And I was not using a smartphone for 2 years before really assessing whether I missed something from this smartphone or not. And so... and I was not thinking about my values, actually, or maybe a little bit because I did it because I wanted to be more present in our family also, and I wanted to be a better role model. And I didn't want my children to see that I am always glued to a screen like that, which was common before. If we use technology to our advantage, it can help us stay organized. It's the example of the CRM, actually. But it's also other things, because we can have, for example, a project manager online. Or you can use a calendar online and not be forced to note anniversaries each year, because the calendar will actually repeat those anniversaries automatically and will remind you that someone will have a birthday or something like that. So this is also an example related to using note-taking apps, which we will use also. What is your experience with note-taking apps, besides the fact that I change them a lot?
Well, actually, I'm not using it a lot.
Why?
It is time-consuming, and I think that I'm not well organized,
I don't think it's related to organization. I think that it's related whether you are feeling the need to note things in your life or not. Are you noting things on paper?
Much more on paper.
And why do you choose paper and not a computer?
It's more natural for me.
It's not so complicated to open a notepad versus to open an application and to start using it? Mm-hmm. Okay. This is the same reason why I am using a paper notepad also. But I try to force myself to note some things in the electronic note-taking app, because I think that with time we can build some knowledge. Whereas with paper, it's nice to have notes on paper, but it will be difficult to make connections between ideas later on. And so that is why I am keeping my notepads for my children, and one day maybe I will give it to them. But I want also to have an electronic version of my note. Number 3, you can use technology to your advantage, because you can use technology to learn new skills. Have you learned something online using a piece of technology?
Well, I didn't participate in an online course.
No,
for
never.
Example. Never. But I'm using internet to find some information.
Well, how are you using the internet to find the information?
Google.
Google? YouTube?
YouTube.
More Google or more YouTube?
I think that at the beginning it was Google, and now more and more I'm using YouTube. So I'm looking for some vloggers.
Okay.
So some vlog with some
tutorial about something. Okay. But why do you choose more and more video?
It's more convenient.
Because it's shown. Somebody is showing it to you, and so
more interesting.
It's more interesting.
Maybe it's not more interactive, but you can see someone's face.
Okay, it's a more human experience.
Mm-hmm.
And why haven't you taken my online course, Gosia?
Because I'm taking your online course every day.
This is the best answer you could.
I'm your tester.
Gosia is my beta tester, and I am testing a lot of ideas on Gosia, so say thank you to Gosia. Number 4 is you can use technology to automate repetitive tasks. Have you used something like Zapier or Make, Gosia? Or if this, then that?
I know that I've used it because
I set it up on your account. Yeah.
I was not a fan of it, I think. But I'm using my task list, calendar, so traditionalist.
I understand that you are using more your calendar and some classic productivity tools, and you are not entering the realm of automation yet. But why is that? Why aren't you interested in automating things? Because I'm doing it for you, or because you don't feel the need? Because
you are doing it for me.
But if I was non-existent on this earth, would you have an idea to, for example, set Zapier in such a way that it sends you an email every time there is a new calendar invitation you receive on one of your 3 calendars?
No, no.
Do you think it brings value to our family?
It brings value to our family.
Because I did it because we missed a lot of invitations, and so I made it so that we don't miss invitations and that we actually know what is happening in our calendars.
Well, everything what you propose brings value, I think, and it's very good for our life.
But it's not that you miss it if it does not exist.
Yes, I'm a type of person, very not looking for such a new technologies
you are
by myself.
You're not a geek.
I'm not a geek.
And I am a geek. Okay, but so to automate our stuff, we are using Zapier, and we can make a separate podcast episode about how we automate, for example, the publishing of our podcast using Zapier. But what we do is that basically all the tasks we have to perform, me and Gosia, are automatically attributed to us each time that we record a new episode like today. So this is one thing we do. Another thing that we do is we receive emails when our YouTube videos go live, and we receive also emails when somebody is inviting us for a meeting in our calendar, so that we know that something is happening. And since we are using more than one calendar, it's convenient to know that something is awaiting our response. But you can automate a lot of things. You can automate your finances. You can automatically make a wire transfer to save some amount of money each week or each month. There's a lot of automation possibilities today, and I think that with ChatGPT and GPT 3.5, it's even more interesting to use some automations, because you can automate, for example, generating some text, some sales text, maybe marketing text, and a lot of things can happen automatically. I can say that with Zapier and also with ChatGPT, I have probably saved 2 hours in publishing every YouTube video because of using ChatGPT. Number 5, improve communication. You can use video conferencing, for example, to save travel time. There were jobs where you should be always traveling, always flying somewhere to clients, that today can be less related to travel because we have video conferencing. And thank you, pandemic, for that. But do you think that it's a real advantage?
Yes, it's a real advantage for companies, cost saving. And but for people,
for example, they can still have a family and have an ambitious professional life and not have to choose between both. I think it's even more important for women, because I think it's more a problem for women to be moms and also professionally active. Do you agree? Or am I discriminating women right now?
Well, I think that for both parents, it's more convenient to work as much as possible from home, if only you have conditions, of course, for remote work.
So a room, an office, and you're not doing it from the kitchen.
Or, I think that it's difficult to work remotely when you have kids at home, for example.
Yeah.
So I think that during pandemic it was difficult for parents.
For having a family life, being able to make Zooms is very, very advantageous. Number 6, tech can make you save money. How can you save money using tech?
So you can compare prices when you are traveling. There are some websites?
Yeah, there's websites for comparison of prices, not only related to traveling, actually. You can compare prices of everything.
Mm-hmm.
This will be the last point. Which point will it be? You can use tech to your advantage by using productivity tools, such as calendars, timers, maybe some workflow tools, maybe some note takers. This is something we started with and we are finishing with it also.
And also when you are developing your own business, so it's very good. You can use technology to your advantage.
But which tech tools are you using while developing your business, Gosia?
So productivity apps,
Project managers,
project management apps.
communication tools,
Yes.
email clients,
So.
but clever email clients.
Mhm.
Yeah. But are you looking also online for strategies how to scale your business or how to do marketing?
Yes, because we have our website on Shopify. So I'm watching tutorials from Shopify for example.
tutorials. But if you had to give someone an advice whether it is better to read books about selling and marketing and product design or look for this content online, what would you say? It's books or online content?
Books.
And why? Because books are more difficult to write?
Maybe because it's not so easy to find a good content online. There is a lot of content. It's very time consuming to find someone
with real knowledge.
Yes.
And who knows how to transmit this knowledge to you in a comfortable and
actually,
good manner.
You can say the same about books.
Yeah, but I think it's more difficult to write a book. And so if someone sits down to write a book, usually the knowledge will be of better quality, and also there will be more people engaged in producing this book. And so if someone does not know how to write approachably, this person will probably have an editor, and the editor will be much better at editing and approachability of this text.
Maybe for someone who is starting a business like me, all those tutorials and some basic online videos were useful because it was something, some base knowledge.
Okay,
but then when you want to go deeper, it's not so easy to find.
Okay, thank you. If you have other ideas how to use tech to your advantage, leave a comment. And we'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Thank you, bye.